When you turn 60 and beyond, who will truly stand by your side? When you're younger, the answer might seem obvious. Your family, your closest friends, the people you've known for years. But as the decades roll on and you cross that threshold into your later years, life begins to shift in ways you might never have imagined. The familiar faces, the promises of lifelong support, even those bonds you believed unbreakable, may not always be as dependable as you once assumed. Life has a way of transforming even the most steadfast relationships as circumstances change, priorities rearrange, and every day brings a new challenge you must face alone. In this message, we uncover 6 essential pillars that, as you age, become more steadfast and reliable than even family. This isn't about pushing those close to you away or diminishing the love they share with you. It's about understanding where real stability can be found and ensuring that when life tests you most, you are not caught unprepared or left vulnerable. When you build a strong foundation based on these 6 pillars, you gain the security and independence that carry you through every storm life can throw your way. Imagine that at some point, you wake up and realize that your world no longer revolves around the people you once took for granted. Instead, you discover a deeper, more resilient form of support waiting within the framework you created for yourself. Stay with me until the end, because these pillars may completely change how you think about support. Once you truly understand them, you'll never feel powerless, alone, or unprepared again. Now, let's start by exploring the very first pillar, your financial stability. The most reliable support you can have in your later years is not another person. It is the financial independence that you cultivate over time. Money may not buy happiness, but it buys security, freedom, and a peace of mind that is hard to match. As you get older, you begin to see that relying on family for financial assistance is not a sound strategy. It's a risk that could derail the safety net you need. Your children, no matter how deeply they care for you, have their own lives to lead, their own expenses to manage, and their own families that require support. Even if their love is unwavering, life's unpredictable twists mean they might not be in the position to help when you face an unexpected crisis. Take Richard, for example, a 72-year-old man who always assumed that if he ever encountered financial trouble, his children would come to his rescue. Richard had spent years supporting his kids, helping pay for their college education, lending money when they needed a boost, and always being available when they called. Yet, when an unforeseen medical emergency hit him hard, draining his savings and leaving him reeling, he reached out to his children only to discover that they too were burdened by their own financial struggles. Their inability to help wasn't born of a lack of love. It was simply that life had dealt them a difficult hand as well. That stark moment of realization taught Richard that true financial stability is not measured by riches, but by being prepared. It's about having a plan for emergencies, creating a steady source of income that you can count on, and knowing how to manage your money so well that you never have to rely on anyone. If you're in your 60s or beyond, ask yourself, do I have enough saved to cover unexpected expenses? Is my retirement income secure, or am I at the mercy of variables beyond my control? Have I taken the steps to minimize financial risks that could leave me vulnerable? If you're unsure, or if the answer is no, the time to take action is now. Embrace the habits of wise budgeting, invest in assets that offer long-term stability, and steer clear of unnecessary debt. Each step you take today builds the unyielding support system of tomorrow, because at the end of the day, the one thing that will always stand by you is the security of your financial future. Hand in hand with financial security comes the second pillar, your physical health. There is one thing in life that no amount of love, money, or external support can ever replace: your health. As you reach your later years, your body can either be your most trusted ally or your greatest obstacle. Even with all the wealth in the world, if your health falters, your freedom The freedom to live, to move, to enjoy every precious moment diminishes. Family may be eager to care for you, but they cannot carry out the daily routines that keep you healthy. They cannot exercise for you, choose the right food for you, or reverse the natural effects of time on your body. The responsibility for your health rests solely on you. Far too many people neglect their physical well-being, assuming that when the time comes, someone else will be there to take care of them. The truth is, even the most loving family members have their own lives to manage, and they may not have the time, energy, or expertise to be your full-time caregiver. Relying on others for the care of your body can leave you feeling powerless, trapped, and ultimately robbed of your independence. That is why investing in your health right now is one of the most important. Consider the story of Carl, a 68-year-old man who was once vibrant and active during his younger years. After retiring, Carl allowed himself to slip into a comfortable routine of inactivity, believing that there was plenty of time to get back in shape later. However, as the days passed, his energy began to wane, his mobility declined, and simple daily tasks started to feel insurmountable. His children visited when they could, but they had their own routines and responsibilities to manage, leaving Carl to confront his declining health largely on his own. Eventually, he realized that if he ever wanted to maintain his independence, if he wanted to continue enjoying all the experiences life had to offer, he had to take control of his health immediately. Not tomorrow, not next year, but right now. You don't have to train like an Olympic athlete. Even small, consistent efforts, such as a daily walk, a balanced diet, and regular checkups, can make all the difference in preserving your energy and mobility. If you've been ignoring the subtle signals your body sends you, the little aches that persist, the moments of unexplained fatigue, or the gradual difficulty in moving as you once did, now is the time to listen, act, and nurture your health. Your future self will be eternally grateful for every healthy choice you make today, because ultimately, your body is the one true companion that stands by you through every twist and turn of life. Moving on to the third pillar, your social circle. One of the biggest mistakes people often make as they age is the gradual isolation that creeps in without warning. Friends may move away, loved ones may pass on, and before you know it, your once expansive network of connections has shrunk to a handful of familiar faces, if any at all. This loss of social interaction is not merely an emotional setback. It has profound effects on your mental sharpness, your overall health, and even the length of your life. It is easy to assume that family will always provide the companionship you need. But the truth is that your children, regardless of how much they love you, have their own families, careers, and busy schedules. They simply can't be the sole source of your social well-being. That is why it is vital to cultivate a diverse, vibrant social network that stands by you independent of familial bonds. Look at the example of Margaret, a 73-year-old woman who once relied solely on her family's visits to fill her days with joy. In the beginning, she felt secure in the knowledge that she was surrounded by people who cared, but as the years went by, her children's visits became less frequent. Alone with a growing sense of loneliness, Margaret made a conscious decision. She would no longer wait passively for connection. She rekindled old friendships that had been left dormant, joined local community groups, and even embraced new hobbies that introduced her to a broader circle of people. In doing so, Margaret discovered the transformative power of human connection, a connection that made her feel seen, valued, and alive every single day. Your friends, casual acquaintances, neighbors, and even people you meet in a local book club or at the gym can create a fabric of support that enriches every aspect of your life. They provide laughter, shared memories, and a sense of belonging that is irreplaceable. So, if you find that your circle of social interaction is dwindling, take action to expand it now. Seek out those who bring joy into your life, and in doing so, the fourth pillar is your sense of purpose. a quality that often becomes overlooked as you age. For many, the roles that once defined their identity, being a parent, a dedicated worker, a caring partner, begin to fade with retirement and the passage of time. Without the structure and fulfillment that these roles provided, it's easy to fall into a void of uncertainty. What do you do when the source of your identity feels like it has dried up? The answer is that purpose is something you must actively create for yourself. It is the internal flame that gives meaning to every day and makes you want to wake up and embrace life despite its challenges. Consider George, a 70-year-old retired engineer who initially looked forward to the relaxation that retirement promised. Instead of finding peace, however, he soon found himself adrift, missing the sense of purpose that had once driven him. In response, George decided to seek out a new role that would re-energize him. He began volunteering at a local school, teaching young children the fundamentals of building and problem-solving. In sharing his skills and experiences, George rediscovered a sense of usefulness and fulfillment that filled the emptiness he'd once felt. Your purpose might come in many forms. It could be mentoring others, engaging in creative endeavors like painting or writing, cultivating a garden, or even exploring new subjects and skills. It doesn't have to be grand or public. It only needs to be deeply personal and meaningful. By investing in your sense of purpose, you cultivate a reservoir of inner strength and resilience that no one else can take away from you. Closely intertwined with purpose is the fifth pillar, your emotional resilience. Life will continue to challenge you in myriad ways, be it the slow erosion of physical capabilities, the heartbreak of losing loved ones, or the frustration that accompanies unforeseen setbacks. While family, friends, and colleagues can offer moments of solace, the deepest and most enduring support must ultimately come from within. Emotional resilience is the quality that allows you to endure life's storms and bounce back stronger than ever. Consider Helen, a 75-year-old woman who, after losing her beloved husband of 40 years, initially leaned on her children for emotional comfort. Over time, however, she recognized that even their deep love and concern could not fully repair the pain she felt inside. Determined not to let grief define her, Helen embarked on a journey of healing that involved joining support groups, journaling her thoughts, and practicing gratitude every single day. Through these acts, she slowly discovered that the strength to overcome her sorrow lay not in the arms of her family, but within her own heart. Emotional resilience is not about suppressing your feelings or pretending that everything is fine. It's about processing your emotions, learning from your struggles, and emerging with a renewed sense of self-worth. Whether it takes the form of creative expression, meditation, or therapeutic support, nurturing your emotional resilience empowers you to stand tall even when life seems overwhelming. The more you develop this inner strength, the less you will find yourself reliant on others to fill the gaps left by pain and loss. The sixth and final pillar is the ability to adapt to an ever-changing world. If there is one constant in life after 60, it is change. People, circumstances, routines, everything evolves, often when you least expect it. The harsh reality is that clinging desperately to what once was can leave you feeling stranded, frustrated, and disconnected. Those who thrive in later life are not necessarily the ones with the most resources or the most steadfast support systems. They are the ones who embrace change and adjust with grace and courage. Think of Frank, a 78-year-old man who once depended solely on in-person interactions and familiar faces to feel connected. As time went on, many of Frank's closest friends passed away or moved away, and he was left to face the deep loneliness that accompanied such losses. Rather than resigning himself to despair, Frank chose to adapt. He learned how to use video calls to maintain contact with distant family members, joined online discussion groups where he shared his passion for history, and even formed new friendships with people he never would have met otherwise. Frank's willingness to grow with change allowed him to build a fresh network of support and a sense of belonging that defied age. Adaptability is not about completely abandoning the past or your traditions. It's about blending what you know with new ideas and approaches so you continue to grow as a person. Embracing new technology, exploring different social circles, and even reinventing how you view your daily routines can transform your outlook on life and ensure that you remain resilient in the face of any change. If you have these 6 pillars in place, financial security, robust physical health, a rich social network, a clear sense of purpose, deep emotional resilience, and the ability to adapt, you will never feel completely alone or helpless. You will never have to beg for support or wait for someone else to rescue you in times of difficulty. Instead, you will have built for yourself a fortress of stability, a legacy of self-reliance that no external force can ever break. Because true stability does not come from hoping that others will always be there, it comes from knowing that you have already prepared, through your own perseverance and wisdom, to stand strong no matter what life brings. Reaching 60 and beyond is a stage of life that carries both wisdom and new challenges. It is a time when you truly come to understand that while family will always hold a special place in your heart, the most reliable support is the foundation you lay for yourself. Your financial stability means that you can handle the unexpected. Your physical health allows you the freedom to experience life's wonders. Your social circle keeps you connected to the world in a way that feeds both your mind and your soul. Your sense of purpose infuses each day with meaning, and your emotional resilience provides the inner strength required to overcome loss, regret, and setbacks. Finally, your ability to adapt ensures that you remain open to growth, even when the world seems to be changing too. Today, as you consider these pillars, remember that they are not destinations, but ongoing journeys. Every moment you invest in building financial security, every step you take to nurture your health, every effort you put into forming meaningful connections, every decision you make to find or reinvent your purpose, every time you practice emotional healing, and every instance in which you choose to embrace change over despair, you are sculpting the future you deserve. It is not a future defined by the support you might hope to receive from others, but by the support you have meticulously built for yourself, a self-reliant, resilient, and powerful way of living. Each day, with each new sunrise, you have the opportunity to reinforce these pillars. And the cumulative strength of these choices is what enables you to face life's challenges with unwavering determination. You are not merely aging, you are evolving. With each passing year, you gain the wisdom of experience and the clarity of understanding that real support comes from within. This is not a call to cut off those you love, but a call to prioritize your own fortification so that you never have to feel isolated or unprepared. Consider the countless moments when unexpected emergencies, sudden changes, or even simple misfortunes remind you that the world is unpredictable. In those moments, the one steady, unwavering force in your life is not the promise of someone else's help. It is the resilience you have built over a lifetime. This strength is what empowers you to stand alone without ever truly feeling lonely, because you will have learned that the truest, most enduring support system is the one you create for yourself. There is a beauty in this self-reliance, a kind of freedom that comes not from isolation, but from the secure knowledge that you have never been and never will be entirely dependent on another person for your well-being. When you look in the mirror, you see not just the reflection of someone who has experienced life's ups and downs, but the visage of a fighter who has grown stronger with every setback. You see the legacy of a life built on calculated choices, each one reinforcing the next pillar of support that carries you forward. Family and friends will always be part of that mosaic, but they are only one piece of the whole picture. The real masterpiece, the foundation upon which all other supports rely, is the life you have forged with your own hands, one that stands as a testament to the power of self-investment, perseverance, and the unshakable belief that you are your own most important asset. As you reflect on these truths, imagine sharing your story with those who might be facing similar challenges. Imagine the inspiration that will ripple through communities when individuals, each proud of the strength they have built for themselves, come together to celebrate not what they lack, but what they have achieved on their own. In this very act of self-reliance, you may find that you also become a beacon of hope for others, showing them that even as the fabric of external support may thin over time, the inner foundations you develop can illuminate the path forward for all. There is a resonant joy in knowing that you have become a pillar for yourself, a force that no shifting tide can overthrow. And in that strength, there is a quiet confidence that radiates outward, drawing others to look within themselves and begin their own journey. As we reach the close of this message, take one final moment to consider the profound importance of building a life where you are always prepared to stand strong, no matter what life brings your way. Reflect on the importance of financial independence that lets you weather any storm, the physical wellness that gives you freedom of movement, the warm embrace of a social circle that celebrates every small victory, the clear vision of purpose that propels you forward, the emotional fortitude that eases the burden of loss, and the flexibility to adapt without fear when change comes knocking at your door. All these pillars, when combined, form a formidable foundation that ensures you never need to wait on someone else's support to survive, let alone thrive. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery today. I invite you to share one thing you learned from this narrative and how you plan to implement these pillars in your own life. Your thoughts and reflections are not only valuable to me, they are a beacon of strength and encouragement for everyone who watches. If you found this message helpful and inspiring, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing this video with those who might benefit from its insight. Your support is what enables us to continue creating content that empowers, informs, and inspires. Remember, every moment is an opportunity to build a foundation that will carry you forward long after the challenges of today have passed. Embrace these 6 pillars and let them guide you through every phase of life, knowing that at 60 and beyond, you have the strength, wisdom, and resilience to stand tall on your own. The journey is yours to shape, and the legacy is yours to create. Step into the next chapter with confidence, with purpose, and with an unyielding belief in yourself. Every day offers a new chance to reinforce your financial security, to invest in your health, to nurture lasting connections, to unearth and redefine your sense of purpose, to strengthen your emotional resilience, and to accept change as an inevitable yet opportunity-filled force in your life. And as you do so, know that you are not alone, for the true support system you need is the one you've built within. May this message serve as both a reminder and a call to action, a reminder that you are powerful beyond measure, and a call to ensure that every decision you make today echoes in the strength you'll carry tomorrow. Live boldly, stand confidently, and create a future where you are the rock on which your life is built, no matter what challenges arise. Thank you for watching. Thank you for believing, and thank you for taking the first step in realizing that the most dependable companion through life's journey